Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The heart-wrenching ordeal, a battle against the unknown. For years, Brandi Glanville has been fighting a private war that became intensely public. The sad news today is the culmination of a terrifying journey that began in 2023, with a health scare that quickly became a debilitating crisis. She initially linked the start of her troubles to a trip to Morocco for a Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip season that remains unaired due to unrelated controversy, suggesting she may have contracted a parasite. This terrifying belief stemmed from her horrifying symptoms, a persistent, mysterious facial disfigurement. Brandi described the sensation of her face swelling, sinking in, and feeling like there were tiny bubbles bursting underneath her skin. The former model, who built her career on her looks, was battling a condition that was literally distorting her face, leaving her feeling like she was turning into one of those black mold people, a reference to the dystopian show The Last of Us. The physical and emotional toll. The physical symptoms have been relentless and grotesque: facial disfigurement, severe swelling and changes to her skin texture. Painful lumps appearing in her jaw, neck, and behind her neck. Acidic drainage. She reported a constant, oily, foul-tasting drainage from her face into her mouth, which she says was acidic and eroding her teeth. Hospitalizations. The crisis led to multiple emergency hospital visits, including one where she collapsed at home, unable to move her neck, forcing her son to call 911. Beyond the visible scars, the emotional toll has been cataclysmic. Glanville confessed that the constant pain, fear, and inability to find answers led her down a path of deep depression and even suicidal thoughts. She became a virtual recluse, turning into an introvert, stating, "Leaving my house, I get the worst anxiety." Her mother, seeing her daughter suffer, literally cried with relief upon hearing any glimmer of good news. Financial ruin and desperate measures. The story is compounded by the terrifying financial distress the health battle has caused. Brandi Glanville has revealed that her relentless search for a diagnosis and cure has led to financial ruin. "I've exhausted my savings. At my age, I feel like such a loser in a way, because I was taking care of everything. Now I'm scared about every little thing," she told media outlets. She estimates spending over $130,000 on medical bills, consulting over 20 specialists, including infectious disease experts and plastic surgeons like Dr. Terry Dubrow from Botched. The lack of an immediate, clear diagnosis forced her to seek treatment outside of her insurance network, bleeding her dry. She even lamented that she was getting better on 4 antibiotics and fungal medication, but had to stop because she couldn't afford to stay on them. In a moment of sheer desperation and self-diagnosed belief that she had a parasite, Brandi resorted to shocking, dangerous at-home treatments. In a viral social media video, she admitted to applying the hair removal cream Nair to her face, believing that if the cream dissolved hair, it might also dissolve whatever's in my skin or pss the parasite off. This reckless, horrifying act resulted in what appeared to be severe chemical burns, further damaging her delicate skin. This single act underscored the level of panic and hopelessness she was experiencing in her quest to find relief. A glimmer of hope, the long-awaited diagnosis. The newest development, which brings a complex mix of sadness and relief, is that Brandi Glanville has finally received a diagnosis. After years of being told by some doctors she was fine, speculating about parasites, angioedema, stress-induced swelling, or a foreign body reaction from cosmetic injections, she has an answer. While she has chosen not to reveal the exact diagnosis publicly yet, she confirmed the breakthrough after meeting with infectious disease expert Dr. Michael Skoma. She told TMZ that the diagnosis was a massive relief, especially for her worried mother, and expressed genuine gratitude for finally having an answer. However, the news is bittersweet. While a diagnosis is a critical first step, Brandi cautioned that she still has a long road ahead of her for a full recovery. The damage done to her face, teeth, and emotional state is not something that will disappear overnight. The years of struggle have fundamentally changed her life, turning her away from the spotlight she once thrived in and pushing her to the brink. A new chapter of healing. This journey is a profound reminder of the reality behind the glitz of reality television. Brandi Glanville's struggle is a heartbreaking example of how a prolonged, undiagnosed chronic illness can strip a person of their career, their savings, and their self-esteem. The public has watched her transformation from a sassy, irreverent TV personality to a woman fighting for her health, her face, and her very will to live. Today's news, marked by the long-awaited diagnosis, is less a moment of triumph and more a quiet, sad sigh of relief that the true fight for healing can now begin. She is no longer battling an unseen enemy, but a condition with a name, and with that name comes a map to potential recovery. For over 2 harrowing years, former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Brandi Glanville has been living a private hell that played out in the most public way. The mysterious, disfiguring health condition affecting her face has not only drastically altered her appearance but has also plunged the usually outspoken celebrity into a deep depression, forcing her into an isolated, introverted existence. Today, the world is reacting to a mix of sadness and enormous relief as Glanville finally shares a significant, long-awaited update. She has a diagnosis. This news, while not yet detailing the exact medical condition, is a monumental turning point in a saga that has cost Glanville upwards of 6 figures, countless hospital visits, and a devastating toll on her mental health. The emotional response to the news has been palpable, with Glanville herself sharing that her own mother started bawling upon hearing the breakthrough. It's a sad yet powerful reminder of the relentless, multi-year torment the reality star has endured in her desperate search for answers. The mystery and the torment, 2 years of unanswered questions. The public awareness of Glanville's struggle began around July 2023, following a trip to Morocco for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Glanville initially suspected she contracted a parasite, possibly from tainted food, an unsettling theory that has since become synonymous with her condition. She has been brutally honest with her fans, sharing photos of a severely swollen, bruised, and at times, sinking-in face, often accompanied by captions detailing her misery and depression. The symptoms she described were terrifyingly vivid: swelling and disfigurement, severe, recurring facial swelling that sometimes prevented her from speaking or tasting food, leading to a visible, shocking change in her appearance. Physical sensations. Her most alarming claims involved feeling and seeing an unknown entity move under her skin, which she described as tiny bubbles bursting and feeling like it was having babies in my face. Other symptoms: she reported painful lumps in her neck and jaw, chills, and a constant, oily foul-tasting drainage from her face into her mouth, which she worried was eating away at my teeth, leading to the loss of 5 teeth due to dental complications. This medical nightmare forced her to consult with numerous specialists, including infectious disease doctors and even celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Terry Dubrow from Botched. Dubrow publicly weighed in, suggesting her issue was more likely a severe infection, possibly a mycobacterium or fungus, stemming from a foreign body reaction to previous facial injections, rather than a parasite. He called her condition a ticking time bomb. Glanville, exhausted but cooperative, agreed to the recommended biopsies and even dissolved all her existing facial fillers in an effort to eliminate all potential contributing factors. The financial and emotional fallout. The sadness of Glanville's story is magnified by the colossal personal cost. She revealed that she has spent an estimated $130,000 over 2.5 years just trying to identify and treat the mysterious ailment, nearly exhausting her savings. This financial strain added layers of stress to her already devastating health crisis, forcing her to worry about her financial stability and credit rating, a new kind of anxiety for a once highly successful model and TV personality. It's been hell. I've turned into an introvert, leaving my house. I get the worst anxiety because I've been in my house for 2 years. Her life has been on hold. The social butterfly and outspoken reality star became a hermit, avoiding public appearances and struggling to work. The emotional damage has been profound, as she confessed to being in a deep depression, feeling miserable, and being sick of the way I look. Her vulnerability was heartbreakingly raw, resonating deeply with fans who understood the isolation and despair that comes with a chronic, misunderstood illness. A ray of hope, the diagnosis. Now, the tone shifts from despair to a cautious, overwhelming relief. Glanville's recent announcement that she has finally received a diagnosis achieved with the help of an infectious disease specialist is a massive breakthrough. While the specifics are being kept private for a planned announcement, the confirmation of an answer marks the end of the most terrifying part of her journey, the unknown. Her appearance in recent days, looking better and more like her former self, and her beaming smile as she steps back into the public eye, is a powerful visual testimony to the positive trajectory of her health. She told reporters that she has a long road ahead but is thrilled to finally have a target to fight against. The relief expressed by her mother, who was reduced to tears of joy, captures the sentiment of her fans worldwide: the worst may finally be over. The road ahead and the enduring message. Brandi Glanville's facial crisis is more than just a celebrity health scare. It is a profound testament to human resilience and the devastating consequences of chronic, undiagnosed illness. It exposed the sheer vulnerability behind the glamorous reality TV facade, revealing a woman who was forced to choose between her public image and her health, ultimately prioritizing the latter at a tremendous cost. As Glanville prepares to share her diagnosis and the details of her treatment, her story serves as a powerful message: advocate for your health, no matter the cost or how many doctors dismiss your concerns. After years of being told she was fine by some doctors, her persistence has finally paid off. The sadness of the 2-year ordeal remains, etched in the anxiety and financial sacrifice she has made. But today, the prevailing emotion is hope. Brandi Glanville can finally see an end to her nightmare, promising fans a return to live again, fix teeth, put on 10 pounds, and make out with a hot boy or girl. It is a small but mighty declaration of reclaiming her life, her health, and her happiness.